Ma'am, stop right there. Don't move.
Excuse me, this is my house. Who are you?
Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We need you to come with us for questioning.
I'm Congresswoman Ela Harris. You're in my drive.
4 IC agents thought they were executing a routine immigration enforcement operation. They had an address, a tip from an anonymous source, and the confidence that comes from years of operating without consequences. But when they pulled into the driveway of Congresswoman Elaine Harris at 11 a.m. on a Thursday morning and tried to detain her without a warrant, they set in motion a chain of events that would end with all 4 agents in federal prison, their careers obliterated, and a legal precedent that would reshape how federal law enforcement operates. Before we continue, where are you watching from? If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Stories like these need to be shared, and your support helps us bring more truth to light. The security cameras mounted on Congresswoman Harris's suburban Virginia home captured everything. Every word, every illegal action, every moment of a federal crime unfolding in broad daylight. And unlike body cam footage that can be turned off or mysteriously malfunction, these cameras were private property, backed up to the cloud in real time, completely outside the control of the agents who were about to destroy their own lives. Elaine Harris had served Virginia's 8th Congressional District for 8 years. At 51, she was known for her work on immigration reform, her vocal criticism of ICE overreach, and her consistent advocacy for civil rights. She'd introduced legislation to increase oversight of immigration enforcement, held hearings on detention conditions, and publicly challenged the agency's tactics. She had enemies within ICE, agents who resented her scrutiny and wanted her silenced. That Thursday morning started like any other. Elaine had been up since 6, went for a run, showered, and was preparing to drive to Capitol Hill for committee meetings. Her husband, David, had already left for work at his law firm. Her 2 adult children were away at college. She was alone. The security system she'd installed after receiving threats from extremist groups covered every angle of her property. 4 cameras on the exterior, 2 on the driveway, 1 on the front porch, 1 covering the side yard. All recording in 4K, all with audio, all uploading to secure cloud storage every 30 seconds. At 10:58 a.m., the cameras picked up a black SUV with government plates turning into her driveway. Elaine was in her kitchen, gathering her briefcase and files for the day's meetings. She heard the vehicle and glanced out the window, assuming it was a constituent or a staff member. But when she stepped out her front door at 11:02 a.m., she found 4 IC agents climbing out of the SUV. Led Agent Christopher Nash, a 16-year veteran with a thick file of misconduct complaints. Agent Tyler Bennett, younger but equally aggressive. Agent Nicole Pritchard, who'd been with ICE for 7 years and had learned to follow orders without question. And Agent James Wu, the newest member of the team, only 2 years in and already being shaped by the culture of impunity. The driveway camera had a perfect view. Elaine, dressed in a navy blue suit and heels, briefcase in hand, stopping at the top of her porch steps. The 4 agents spreading out in what looked like a tactical formation. Nash stepping forward, his expression already hostile. "Ma'am, stop right there. Don't move," Nash called out. Elaine's hand tightened on her briefcase. She immediately knew something was wrong. "Excuse me? This is my house. Who are you?" Nash pulled out his badge, holding it up but not close enough for her to read the name. "Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We need you to come with us for questioning." Elaine descended 2 steps, her voice firm. "About what?" "I'm Congresswoman Elaine Harris. You're in my driveway. Do you have a warrant?" "We don't need one," Nash said, moving closer. "We have authority under federal immigration law to question individuals suspected of harboring or assisting illegal aliens." The camera captured Elaine's face, shock mixed with anger. "Suspected by whom? On what basis? You can't just show up at a congresswoman's home without a warrant and demand she submit to questioning." Bennett moved to flank her left side, cutting off a potential retreat into the house. "Ma'am, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. You can cooperate and come with us for questioning, or we can detain you for obstruction." Elaine pulled her phone from her jacket pocket. "I'm calling my attorney." Pritchard stepped forward. "Put the phone down, ma'am. You're not calling anyone until we've completed our investigation." "Investigation of what?" Elaine demanded, her voice rising. "You show up at my home, refuse to show me a warrant, and now you're telling me I can't call my lawyer? Do you have any idea how many federal laws you're violating right now?" Nash's face hardened. The cameras caught every micro-expression, the tightening of his jaw, the narrowing of his eyes. This was a man who didn't like being challenged, especially not by a black woman, congresswoman or not. "Ma'am, We have credible information that you've been harboring undocumented individuals at this residence. We're authorized to question you and search the premises. Elaine's voice went cold. Then show me the warrant for the search. Show me the probable cause affidavit. Show me any legal documentation that gives you the right to be on my property making these accusations. Wu shifted uncomfortably. He was the only agent who seemed to realize this was spiraling into dangerous territory. But he said nothing. We have administrative authority that supersedes standard warrant requirements in immigration cases, Nash stated, reciting a justification that sounded official but was completely fabricated. That's not true and you know it, Elaine shot back. I sit on the Judiciary Committee. I know immigration law better than you do. You need a warrant to search my home. You need probable cause to detain me. You have neither. Nash took another step forward, now at the base of her porch steps. Turn around, ma'am. Hands behind your back. Elaine stood her ground. I'm not doing that. You have no legal authority to arrest me. I'm ordering you to leave my property immediately. The security footage showed what happened next with crystal clarity. Nash grabbed Elaine's arm. She pulled back, not violently but firmly, asserting her right not to be touched. Bennett moved in from the side, grabbing her other arm. Elaine's briefcase fell, papers scattering across the porch. Get your hands off me. Elaine shouted. This is assault. I'm a member of Congress. But they weren't listening. Nash forced her arm behind her back. The angle was wrong, too high, too rough. Elaine cried out in pain. The camera captured it all, the grimace on her face, the aggressive way the agents manhandled her, Pritchard moving in to help restrain her while Wu hung back, his face troubled. The sound of handcuffs clicking shut echoed across the quiet suburban street. A neighbor, an older white woman named Patricia Coleman, had come out of her house, drawn by the commotion. Her phone was already out, recording from a different angle. What are you doing? Patricia called out. That's Congresswoman Harris. Leave her alone. Nash turned briefly. Ma'am, step back. This is federal business. Federal business? Patricia's voice was shrill with outrage. You're arresting a congresswoman in her own driveway. Another neighbor, a middle-aged black man named Jerome Watson, appeared on his porch. He started recording too. Within minutes, 3 more neighbors had emerged, all filming, all witnessing. Elaine, now in handcuffs, kept her voice steady despite the pain in her shoulder where Nash had wrenched her arm. You are all making the biggest mistake of your careers. Every one of you. This is being recorded. Your badges, your faces, every illegal action. And when this goes to trial, every second of this footage will be used against you. Nash's response was to grip her arm tighter and march her toward the SUV. Bennett opened the back door. They pushed Elaine inside, her head nearly hitting the door frame. She managed to duck at the last second, but the rough treatment was obvious to every camera, every witness. Before they could close the door, Elaine spoke clearly, projecting her voice so the cameras would catch it. My name is Congresswoman Elaine Harris, United States House of Representatives, Virginia's 8th District. I am being illegally detained by ICE agents who have no warrant, no probable cause, and no legal authority for this arrest. The date is Thursday, and the time is approximately 11:15 a.m. I am being taken against my will from my home. I have committed no crime. Nash slammed the door shut. The SUV's windows were tinted, but the license plate was clearly visible in the footage. The agents climbed in, and the vehicle backed out of the driveway at 11:17 a.m. Patricia Coleman was already on the phone with 911. Jerome Watson was texting Elaine's chief of staff, whose number he had from constituent meetings. The other neighbors were uploading their videos to social media with captions like, ICE just arrested our congresswoman, and watched them take Elaine Harris from her own home. Within 20 minutes, the footage was everywhere. Local news picked it up first, then national outlets. The images of a black congresswoman being handcuffed in her driveway, her papers scattered on her porch, her neighbors protesting, agents forcing her into an SUV, it went viral instantly. Elaine's chief of staff, Marcus Johnson, saw the texts and videos while in his Capitol Hill office. He immediately called the Speaker of the House Majority Leader, and Elaine's attorney, a civil rights lawyer named Catherine Reed who'd handled high-profile cases for decades. Reed was in a federal courthouse when she got the call. She walked out of one case and straight into what would become the most significant civil rights prosecution of her career. At the ICE field office in Arlington, Nash and his team brought Elaine into an interrogation room. The room had cameras, but they were controlled by ICE. What the agents didn't know was that Elaine's phone, still in her jacket pocket, had automatically started recording audio when she triggered the emergency function before they'd grabbed her. Nash sat across from her, Bennett standing behind him. Pritchard and Wu waited outside. "Congresswoman," Nash began, his tone mocking the title. "We have information that you've been harboring undocumented workers in your home. We need to know who they are and where they are now." Elaine met his eyes, her voice level. "I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and my Sixth Amendment right to an attorney. I will not answer any questions without my lawyer present." Nash leaned forward. "That's going to make things harder for you. Is it?" Elaine asked. "Because from where I'm sitting, you've already committed multiple federal crimes. False arrest, kidnapping under color of law, deprivation of civil rights, assault. And that's just in the last hour. You think invoking my constitutional rights makes things harder for me?" Bennett slammed his hand on the table. "You think your position protects you? You think because you're in Congress you can break the law? What law did I break?" Elaine asked calmly. "Name one. Show me one shred of evidence that I've done anything illegal." Nash pulled out a folder, but when he opened it there was almost nothing inside. A single